spot, have secured 3 points against the top 6 rival. And Josh, just to sum up here, it really maybe is a turning point for this season. It's been a season where we haven't seen the consistency. I know we had that extraordinary unbeaten run earlier this season, but I think we all felt that we were riding our luck a little bit. But tactically sound games against Spurs and Manchester United back-to-back. Ren, an anomaly with a sending off for me, but tactically sound games against 2 rivals like that. Is Unai Emery a little bit closer to finding the right formula?
Oh, absolutely. You can't come away from a game like this and say anything else. And I don't want to put dampener on it when I say we've got tough games to go. I just think we're still progressing, and this is a sign of what we can do when we've got our best players on the pitch and when we've got our best players firing. We've had some great results recently. Our players are now should be full of confidence. Aubameyang back on the score sheet. He will have bounced back from last Saturday's disappointment. So, yeah, it's all moving in the right way. We need to keep it going. We need to go into those games against teams that aren't of the standard of Manchester United, but with this exact same intensity. And then, yes, we will. We are it's in our hands for top 4.
Brilliant atmosphere here today as well. And the game at Razon Park in midweek, the Rennes fans were absolutely fantastic. It was a real cauldron. They're going to bring their fair share to London. It's got to be just like this in the stands as it was on the pitch, hasn't it, on Thursday night?
Yeah, and we've seen it before in European games, in the Champions League before. Remember, we had that big disadvantage against AC Milan, and the crowd were right behind Arsenal. We came within a whisker of turning it round then. So, yeah, absolutely, we can do it. We need to win by a couple of goals, but we're good enough to do it, and the crowd will be a vital part of that.
Josh Manning, thanks for popping on for the final 5 minutes. That's your lot from me. Much more to discuss, though. Arsenal Nation Live continues. Jeremy is down there with Joel and, of course, Kelly. Full-time score here. Arsenal have beaten Manchester United by 2-0.
Get yourself warm. The boys are in the studio now. Let's go live to them for their celebration shots right now. I think Jeremy's still a little bit cold from sitting outside, I think. Let's get some initial reaction before we go any further. Joel, you're being very vocal. Let's come to you first.
Oh, my gosh. My heart. Absolutely pleased with them, because I knew that second half Man United were going to come out like steaming, and there's no surprise there. They even had more possession than us overall, but I'll tell you what, the boys really fought hard today. I'm so proud of them, man. Come on, you Gunners, come on.
Jeremy, you're smiling as well, understandably. Did Unai win the tactical battle there today? We talk about heart and everything, but it looked like he got the team right. We were excited about it from the start, and it certainly paid off.
Yeah, sure, yeah. I think he got the team right. The system right as well, but I think all the players just battled today from the beginning to end. They all, fought really hard on every challenge, and that's what I think made them win the game. They've realised how big this game is, and they've all stepped up. Really, there's no one on that pitch that didn't give 100% today. So that's what you get.
Well, we talked about what a huge game it was before kick-off, and it's had huge ramifications on the Premier League table, which is starting to look a lot better from an Arsenal point of view. How much things have changed in the past few weeks. That result, of course, takes us above Manchester United. Chelsea getting that late point. We weren't too happy with that, but we're 3 points clear of them. Admittedly, they do have the game in hand. But it's funny how quickly things can change, Jeremy, because are we now in the box seat for top 4?
It's incredible. It's so tight. And that's what, from one week to the other, everything just changes, And now, with this result as well today, it's a team that hasn't lost a Premier League game since the new manager took the team. Everybody just talked about how well he's done. We beat them today, and we deserve to win. So, I think we're in a great position now. We've just got to... Now, forget about this game, focus on Thursday night, because that's the
next footballer talking
but that's just so important that,
Yeah, I just wanted to add that there's, the team did well today, as Jeremy would have probably finished with the interview. But yeah, amazing stuff, man. I don't know how you could stay calm like that. I don't know.
Because, man, I've seen it so many times where you just get so excited and you forget, and then the game after you lose, and then we back to like, oh.
Just like Man United, huh? They just beat PSG, they were so excited and then they lose. You're right.
Let's have a look at some of your guys at home reaction. Firstly, to that Aubameyang penalty. What a nice moment that was. Again, these are the first tweets that came through, so congratulations if you were quick on your keyboard, as you'd expect. Yes, Oba, lots of heart emojis, lots of really happy fans. Let's have a look, though, at what you guys were saying, because I'm sure you will have noticed at home that Aubameyang took that penalty, but it was mainly because Lacazette actually gave him the ball. That was obviously a really nice moment to see. Kian here saying he's crying because obviously it's a really nice thing to do for his team. We know they're good friends. Umzi here as well is just saying he just egged him on to take it. It just says so much about team spirit. Kemasabi saying it there as well. It says so much about the togetherness in that squad. We know they're good friends, but Lacazette's a striker as well. He could have wanted to take that.
Yeah, for sure, but he knows what it means to his teammate that just missed one the week before. He knows what the impact will be on him by him just scoring today. He's just obviously not thinking about, oh, I'll take it, I'll score. He just think about, this is not the end of the season today. We need to win today, but we need to win, carry on winning the other game, and that's just the best thing for Aubameyang now, to kind of, forget about that missed penalty last week and just move on. So it's just great from Lacazette to have just give him the ball, yeah.
From your point of view, Jeremy, what's going through Pierre's mind at that moment? Because he won't have in the back of his mind, won't he, the fact that he missed that one last week and the fact that misses a second one and,
and just the way he took the penalty, you can see that is, I've been in that situation when I've missed one. and then the one that I took, after it, straight in the middle.
Yeah. Safe. Very
That's
safe.
the safest way.
Play it safe.
Play it safe. So you can see, obviously, he had a lot of pressure, and now that he scored it, he will.
No Hazard dink.
Not chip. No.
Just ensure it gets in the back of the net. That's all that we cared about, and that's all that happens. Yeah. That's all that matters. Now, let's see some more of your reaction. Now, when we came into the studio, Jeremy actually said to me, Leno was fantastic, made a couple of crucial saves, and you guys at home were agreeing with that as well. The short fuse on Twitter says, give me Bernard Leno any day. A crucial interception well outside of the box. He certainly did command his area really well, didn't he, today? Another one here saying he's world-class, calm, intelligent, can kick, he can pass with both legs, and that gives him more advantage over many goalkeepers. And the final one, I would have put Bernard Leno on the midfield after that action. Are we now, Joel, starting to see the reason we signed him? We've seen he can make those saves, but now it does look like he's finally getting into his real stride.
Definitely, and if you know me as an Arsenal fan, I'm very honest. During the course of the season, I did not see anything special about him. I was just like, whatever, let's just get on with it. But in the last few games, you can see he's really growing, and the fans are starting to appreciate him. His defenders trust his judgment as well. I mean, to come out and ping that ball afterwards, honestly, like, that's why they're saying they would have him in midfield. I'm very proud of him, and to be honest with you, made the development continue. One of the best developments we've seen so far at the club this year.
Do you agree with that, Jeremy? Because, as I said before, we've seen some of the brilliant saves he has made, but he's now starting to really command his area as well, which can only help the defence as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. I totally agree with that. And what I like about him is how well he reads the game. He's like an extra defender. Like a couple of times when Lukaku was on, if he didn't step up and read the game like he did, it would have been a 1v1, which... Probably a lot of other goalkeeper would have stayed on the line, wasn't sure should I go for it, but he just read the game like amazing and just made just great interception, and no, he's been great today. I think he kept us in the game in the second half. Them save and them interception that he's done, just kept us in the game and could have probably been a different game if he didn't been so good today. Yeah.
Well, plenty of happy faces in the studio, and I imagine there's plenty of happy faces in the dressing room as well. We can now hear live from Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
It was so much riding on that game. You could feel it, the fans could sense it. Was it the same with inside the playing group? Did you guys know how much was riding on it?
Yeah, of course, and the manager spoke to us earlier on in the week, especially after our loss in midweek, and, we had to put things right today.
One of the players who put things right was your friend Oba. He took a lot of guts to get up there and take that penalty. We saw Lacazette having words with him beforehand. How proud are you that Oba was able to right the wrongs of a week ago? First of all,
Lacazette, great to win the penalty and to dish it off to Oba to give him his confidence back. That's really, really good, because it shows he's a team player, and Oba to finish it and want to win the game for us by taking the penalty. I think that's fantastic. Great courage from him.
What does it say about the group, that kind of camaraderie, and what Lacazette did for Oba?
We're all team players, We die for the team, and you could just see it today. Every tackle, every chase down, every block. It's fantastic to see.
How much did the crowd play a factor today? Because I can't recall them being that noisy for a while.
The fans were brilliant today, We need them behind us every step of the way, just like that today. Not just big games, Even the ones that we don't have to win, but we should still win. And it's fantastic to hear the noise of the fans.
And how big was that result in terms of the race for the top four that everybody's talking about?
It's a big result for us, 2-0 at home. People don't expect to come here and win easily, but, we've got to keep our role going, make it hard for teams when they come here and they know that they're not going to win.
Thank you very much.
Showing real maturity in that interview there, and he showed real maturity on the pitch as well. So we've wanted him to do so well for so long. Joel, how happy are you as an Arsenal fan to see someone like him coming through and putting performances like that?
I mean, just the interview alone says so much. I looked at him and I looked at Jeremy and I was just like, this is what it's about being an Arsenal fan. Honestly, it's a pleasure to see. You can see him growing up. You can see that the team is evolving. I wanted to ask you, right? Is this a similar team spirit that we had during the Invincibles? Because I was just a little boy back then, so.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I think Arsenal's always been like this. There's never been any selfishness, any selfish player that come. It's a really family and very like a solid group in the dressing room. Everybody gets on with everyone, and it seems that it's carried on through the years. Even after I've left, I've always felt that it's always a togetherness. They always fight for each other, and you saw it today. Like Maitland-Niles just tracking back. He probably had cramp at the end, and he was just chasing back, doing his job, and it's just it's amazing to see how well they get on outside the pitch as well. So it's it's so important.
Teamwork makes the dream work, mate.
Well, it's fair to say that you guys at home have been highlighting his performance as well. Let's see what you've been saying on Twitter. First of all, Paul Harrison says he has Rashford in his pocket. I think that's a pretty fair assessment, to be fair. Anton says he's been very impressive. Whilst our final tweet is from Yemak, who says he's been the standout player for Arsenal alongside Leno. Is that overstating it, Jeremy, or would you say he was the standout player?
I agree with this. I could name a lot of players, I think, today. They all participate their own way. Lacazette up front been amazing. Xhaka as well. I think he's, he plays more defensive today because he didn't have Guendouzi or Torreira next to him, but he's done an amazing job. I think they all played really well, but. Yeah, Maitland-Niles, for his first game back after a long time without playing was just amazing, yeah.
Well, looking at where this leaves us, we have just obviously heard Ainsley talk about it there. It's a big result. And I know we talked about your predictions before the game. Jeremy, you were kind of erring on the side of caution a bit more. Joel, you were a little bit more optimistic. Where does this leave us now? Because looking at our fixtures, that was our last, if you like, big game against one of the big six this season. So surely it's in our hands now. Joel, I'll come to you first. We'll start with the positive response.
Well, we can't. Jeremy's not negative. He's just very sensible.
He brings you back down to earth. He brings you back down to earth.
So when I go gung-ho, he calms me down. But for me, I just think it's massive, not because we have easier games, but because it's a confidence builder. You really need to get these games going. Like, for example, when we went through our 22 unbeaten, there were certain games that it was just the start of a very good results. And I think this is one of them, hopefully, fingers crossed, because it's not going to be tough. It doesn't matter. Wolves is a tough game now. Southampton's a tough game now. I'm not saying we've got those teams, but I'm saying all of these games become harder than they should be. Jeremy was schooling me earlier saying that the Burnley game is not going to be as easy as I think. So, and I think he's right. Look, Man United probably thought this was, the fans, at least the Man United fans thought this was going to be an easy game today, but boy, were they in for a shock. This is the business end of the Premier League, so we have to stay focused. But this result right here is the start of something amazing, I'll tell you.
Come on, Jeremy. He's been quite realistic there. He hasn't got too excited.
No, he hasn't,
But
yeah.
where do you think this leaves us? Because we saw your predictions earlier. You do think there's going to be a few tough games in there, and we did see earlier that Wolves can cause problems for any team. We saw it back here at the Emirates in November, and we saw it today at Stamford Bridge as well.
Yeah, I still maintain what I've said. It's still going to be tough. A lot of team plays for different stuff now. At the end of the season, we're still in Europa. So is Chelsea. Champions League for Spurs and Man U, and there's so many games still. Team at the bottom of the league that we think will be easier game, they still fight for relegation and for other stuff. So it's just going to be, every game are going to be difficult. The hardest thing is just not to get carried away thinking we've got a less tough game than the opponent, because that's wrong to do. Yeah.
Well, it certainly is going to be interesting. Interesting to note as well, after the game against Rennes this week, there's an 18-day break, which could come at a crucial part of the season. Other teams, obviously, in FA Cup action, obviously will have players away on international break as well. But plenty of reasons to be positive here in the studio. So let's finish up with our one-word summation of today's game. Joel, you first.
Brilliant.
Said with so much enthusiasm. Jeremy, can you match that?
Amazing.
Yeah. Still calm, innit?
Still calm. And I'm going to finish with perfect, because that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted a clean sheet, to see some goals and to see an Arsenal win. So thank you to everyone who has joined us on Arsenal Nation today. A big thank you to the Dream Team in the studio, Jeremy and Joel. It's been great to have you both here, and we'll see you back here on Arsenal Nation for the game against Rem.